Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back. I hope everybody watching is doing well. I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves. If you're looking for a personal reading, you can go ahead and book a personal reading with me with the links in the description box. If my readings are out of stock, you guys, please just message me on Etsy and I will get back to you in a few days, maybe a week, and we can set something up in the future. So today's pick a card, you guys, is going to be a pick a card on why the hell are you still single and when is it going to change? When is our single life ending? So I'm very excited to jump on into it. Before I show you guys the piles, this is your reminder that tarot is a divination tool. It's an intuitive practice. So take what resonates, leave what does not resonate. Also, there's nuance to every conversation. With that being said, guys, here's a clip of the piles right now. All right, you guys, these are the three piles. We got group 1 with the fluorite, group 2 with the black tourmaline, and group number 3 with the rose quartz. You guys need a moment to meditate on which pile is calling your name. You guys are free to right now, and if you want to pick more than one pile, you guys are always welcome to do so. Alright, you guys have now picked your pile. Please go ahead and check out my description box where I've left you guys timestamps for when your reading will start. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your guys' reading. I hope everybody watching is doing well. Let's go ahead, you guys, and start off with the dice. We have Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Aries. Hello, Aries. Aries again. Pisces again. Libra. We also have Cancer in the tarot cards, and we have all of the earth signs: Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So the first card we have here, you guys, is the Page of Cups, okay? The Page of Cups, group number 1, is talking about a surprise. So why the hell are you still single? Because you are constantly being surprised. Perhaps you're like dating people and they seem to really be interested, or they seem to really be into you, and then you're like taken aback when they pull back or when they pull away. It's also really possible, you guys, that some of you may just not have a lot of experience when it comes to dating, or you may have no experience when it comes to dating. Therefore, it makes it difficult to know like how to get the ball rolling with another person in a romantic manner. But this is letting me know that there's some type of like unexpected energy or unknown energy showing up in regards to why you are still single. Now, we also have the Chariot here. And again, guys, the question is, why are you still single? For the Chariot to show up, the way that I see it, it's very, very much just this vibe of like, you're still single essentially because you're not taking action. The Chariot is a very action-oriented card. It's a card that is representing going after what you want with full steam ahead, going after what you want, and not holding back, right? It's like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be with, and I'm not going to hold back. So for a lot of you, you're holding back when it comes to love and romance. And like, that's okay to be shy. It's okay to, hold back. But at the same time, the way that this card is showing up, it's indicating to me that you holding back, or you not going after who you want or what you want romantically, is playing a role in why you are still single. We also have the Four of Coins, and this is talking about essentially the same thing under the context of this question: why the hell are you still single? Because you're holding back. The Four of Coins is again talking about holding back. So you're not going after what you want, and you're holding back. The combination of these two cards, you guys, is why you are still single. And I understand a large majority of my audience is women, and a large majority of my audience is straight women. And I understand that us as women, like, we want to be pursued. We want somebody to show us that they care. And I think that's totally fine and acceptable. But at the same time, in 2023, you are really limiting your options when you are putting so many stipulations on how you meet somebody or the way you're wanting to meet somebody. I don't think the how is important. I just don't. I think that if we focus so much on the how somebody comes into our life, we are potentially missing out on opportunities to meet really great, amazing people. So for you guys, group number 1, I think that we may be too focused on the romanticization. Am I saying that correctly? I feel like for some of you, you may be romanticizing the how you meet this person. And I think that that's playing a role as into why you are still single, okay? Again, the Chariot is like going forward, being very determined, the Four of Pentacles is talking about holding back. You are still single, you guys, because you are not taking steps forward. You're not taking initiative to put yourself out there. Whether that is dating online or whether that is meeting people in person, like you're not putting yourself out there significantly enough and you are holding back, okay? Now, all of these things are valid, you guys. If you're an introvert, that's valid. If you're shy, that's valid. If you've had your heart broken, it's valid. But these are the reasons why that are coming up, okay? We also have the Ruler of Coins. This is the King of Pentacles, okay? So the King of Pentacles is representing somebody who is extremely ambitious. He's well off. He's a rich man, okay? This is just representing a rich man. Some of you, how do I say that properly? Because it's not that you guys are necessarily seeking a rich man, but it may be that a lot of you are seeking things that could be superficial. Because although, yes, the King of Coins is wealthy, those are not the qualities about him that are important, right? The things that make this king great are the things that are not necessarily tangible, like his loyalty, his stability, his consistency. These are the things in this king that makes him a great king, okay? Yes, he has money. Yes, he has riches, but it's like at the end of the day, that is not what's making him great. So maybe we are putting too much emphasis on superficial things, whether that's physical appearance or whether that is how much money somebody's making. We have the Four of Cups as well. I hate this card. I feel like for such a long time, I tried so hard to like love this card and like understand this card on a level where it's like, this isn't that bad. No, I hate this card. This card is so lukewarm. It's so just like meh. And I just don't like it when it comes into a reading because it just feels like it's so lackluster. But that's essentially why I feel like in this reading, it's perfect, right? That's why you guys are still single, because there's this feeling of not being excited about anybody. There's this feeling of like, nobody's catching my eye. Nobody is pulling my interest. There may also be an energy here for you guys of essentially people approaching you, for some of you, or wanting to pursue you and you not showing interest. Now, I'm not of the mindset of like you should just settle. Like if you're not attracted to somebody, you should just date them anyways. I think that's dumb. If you think somebody is unattractive or you don't like the way that they speak, you don't like their religion, you don't like their... I feel like when it comes to dating, you don't need a reason to not want to date somebody. Like it could be any little tiny thing and you be like, I don't want to date you because you are left-handed. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying that you should settle, guys, okay? When this card's coming up, I want you to understand, I'm not saying you should settle. I literally think people should be as picky as they want. But at the same time, if you're going to be picky, you got to understand that you're going to be single a little bit longer. Or, like, everlasting, right? And I think that's fine. But with this is essentially just telling me that we are not necessarily receiving offers or nobody is sparking our interest, which is obviously playing a role in us being single. So... we have the Five of Coins. This is disappointment. This is feeling left out in the cold, feeling forgotten, feeling like nobody cares. So for some of you, you may just feel unattractive physically. Maybe you feel like you are not adequate enough for the type of people that you are attracted to, the type of men you're attracted to, the type of women you're attracted to. If that's the case, guys, number one, I have to say this, like... there is somebody for everybody. There is somebody for everybody. Now, with that being said, I do think that if you have a desire for a particular type of person, I think that you yourself should exhibit as many qualities of that person that you are wanting to date that you can, right? Let's say for those of you who are watching, you want to date a rich man. I'm not necessarily saying you need to become a rich man, but I am saying that perhaps you should create goals for yourself financially. Be at the level in which you are wanting to date, okay? I'm not going to tell you guys how to do that. It's not my place. I don't care how you guys choose to do that. But if you feel like everybody who is in your dating pool is just people that you're not attracted to or people that you're not interested in, maybe it's time to turn the mirror on yourself for a time and do some self-improvement, okay? I'm all for self-improvement. And again, I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You figure that out yourself. We have the Star here. The Star is representing hope, faith, blessings coming in. So some of you have just straight up, flat out lost hope, lost faith in love. And that type of mindset is going to prevent you from finding love. Obviously not all the time. Again, this is why I say in the beginning of my readings that there's nuance to every conversation, because I understand that there are some cases in which that's not the case. However, for the majority of people, if you have a negative mindset on love, if you have a negative mindset on relationships, you're going to have negative results. All right, guys. So We need to get a little bit more optimistic. We need to start feeling a little cuter. We need to start putting ourselves out there. We need to, again, not necessarily lower our standards, but get realistic about the people who are in our dating pool, okay? The good thing about this, you guys, is all of this is fixable, right? The reason that you are single, I feel like for this group specifically, like you're single for a season, not a lifetime. It feels like right now may just be a time in which you are not feeling up to putting yourself out there, or you are feeling more standoffish, and maybe there just needs to be some healing done or some more focus on the self, and that can be remedied. This doesn't seem like a hopeless group. We have Mars, and this is force. Okay, so you guys don't need to be forcing yourselves on people. That is not what we are promoting here. But group number 1, this is action, all right? This is the planet of war. This is Aries, and this is Scorpio. Have you guys ever met an Aries? Have you guys ever met a Scorpio? Okay, this is a very aggressive energy with Mars. So look, guys, look, ladies, gentlemen, if you are wanting somebody, shoot your shot. Shoot your gosh dang shot. Put yourself out there. I'm not saying be aggressive. Being aggressive, some people are into it, some people are not. I think it's always safer to err on the side of caution. But like, you are never going to know if you don't put yourself out there, okay? You're never going to know if you don't try. This is telling you to take action. Mars is all about action. So get up, group number 1, and take some action. Okay, here we go. We have the 11th house. This is friendship. Why? Okay. Some of you who pick this group don't have any friends. Relatable. That's totally fine. Okay? Totally fine. You need to widen your friendship circle. You guys need to make more friends. You guys need to expand your friends group, okay? Or get a friend, or get 2, 3, 4. Get a friend. All right, guys, we need a buddy, because I feel like doing this and creating a larger friend group, you're obviously expanding your social circle, expanding your social circle is what is going to ultimately bring you love, ultimately going to bring you around more people. So if you guys don't have any friends, I would focus on that first, all right? Focus on finding a friend first. For those of you who have friends, spend more time with your friends. I think that this is important. Socializing is important, especially when you're single and it comes to dating. Socializing as much as possible is freaking important. So make sure you're doing that. Also, guys, I think some people underestimate the art of taking things slow, okay? Some people underestimate the art of like making people wait. Some people underestimate being like, no, like we're gonna be friends. Like I need to make sure I know your vibe before I just jump into something romantic. Just because you're attracted to somebody, group number 1, does not mean that you should date that person. There are so many attracted people in the world. That does not mean that they are good people to date. All right, I'll go as far to say, when I think about the most attractive people in my mind, I would never want to date them. I would be like, nope, not dateable, okay? So, I don't know, guys. Don't be afraid to make friends with people that you are attracted to without dating them, okay? Allow yourself to get to know people. Allow yourself to really understand someone before jumping into a whole relationship with them. We have Pluto transformation. All right, here's the thing. I know people don't like this, and I'm sorry. I understand that we should all like love each other. We should love each other, but we should all love and accept ourselves as we are. And I think that there's a beautiful balance that we can come to where it's like, I love myself, I respect myself, I honor my body, my mind, my vessel, like I love me, but also I know I can do better, or I know I can improve, or I want to improve. Having a desire to improve, you guys, is not a bad thing. Having a desire to get better is not a bad thing. And I'm seeing this card for you guys, group number 1, as self-improvement, going through a transformation. And that does not mean that where you are at right now is inadequate. That just means that there's an evolution, there is change that needs to take place. Maybe not even to attract somebody, but maybe just for you to feel more confident in you, right? And again, when I say transformation, change, I'm not talking about physical all the time. I feel like, yes, physical changes are important if you're unhappy with yourself, but I also feel like mental and emotional changes are extremely powerful, and I feel like people don't put enough emphasis on that. We have silence. This is frozen, no words, and stone wall. Look, guys, you're single because you're not speaking. You're single because you're not shooting your shot at anybody. You're single because you are inactive. You're single because it's winter and you're not going outside. Go outside, guys. Go outside, make friends, socialize, talk. Go to online dating sites, guys. Download an app. I know people don't like this. I hear you. I get it. But if you are silent, you are going to, right? If you're not going to say anything, if you're not going to flirt with anybody, how are you expecting to get a boyfriend? How are you expecting to get a girlfriend? Shoot your shot. All right, guys, this silence. I was saying this the other day in a reading. I was like, when I was young, my stepdad would always say this. He would be like, closed mouths don't get fed. If you want something, you need to speak up. And I remember being like, that hurts my feelings. Like, I just want you to be in tune with my needs and like what I want without me having to say it. Which, like, as an adult now, I'm looking back and I'm like, you know what? He's right. Like, I should have just spoken up for myself. So if you guys are having a hard time speaking up for yourself or demanding certain things that you may want, like, we need to work through that, okay? We have the divine masculine as well. This is yang masculine energy. It could be, you guys, that for some of you, you are not attracting this masculine energy because you yourself are acting in a masculine manner. I feel like this is hard for me to talk about because people always want to like twist what I'm saying. Masculine energy is attracted to feminine energy. And I understand, again, there are certain people who have masculine energy who are also attracted to masculine energy people, vice versa, feminine, get it. But however, on average, even people who are in LGBTQ, there's usually somebody who's more masculine, someone who's more feminine, because these two are opposites, they are attracting each other. So if you are wanting to attract a masculine person, you guys, you have to exhibit more of those feminine qualities. And that does not mean that you cannot shoot your shot. You can shoot your shot in a feminine way. You can shoot your shot in a dainty, cute, like, girly way. You don't need to be like, give me your number, boy. I'm trying to slide in. Like, no, we don't need to do that. We can do it in a soft way. I also, though, do see that yang energy is, again, a need to take action, a need to take initiative. We have the ocean here. This is release. I think for a lot of you, this is a need to release fears, to release worries, concerns. I just feel like there's this vibe here for a lot of you of holding back, and through holding back, you're preventing yourself from finding love. You're preventing yourself from finding someone who can actually like love you fully and give you what it is that you want. So we need to have a release, guys. All right. We also have the bird, and this is information. When I see the bird and information, this automatically takes me to communication. We need to start voicing what we want. We need to start making it known when we are attracted to somebody, when we are wanting a relationship with somebody. We need to start expressing that. Expressing yourself and speaking up for yourself and your wants and your desires will take you very far. All right, group one, this is important. Again, this could also be indicating some type of online situation, right? This could be representing some type of again, dating app or something to that effect. So I don't know, guys. I just think ultimately we need to communicate more. We have a romantic night. This is a romantic entanglement and an adult encounter. So when this is coming up, obviously I'm seeing this as a need for us to go on dates, for us to say yes when somebody's asking us out on a date, and to keep it cute, keep it romantic. I feel like people are losing the idea or the desire to be romantic, and I feel like this is really important to indulge in. So make sure that you guys, again, are putting yourself in positions where you can go on dates. And also with the adult encounter, I would be cautious of that if you guys are looking for a long-term connection or a long-term relationship. The only reason why I'm saying that, and again, there's nuance to this conversation as well, this is not always the case, but I do find that when we dive deep into something physically, that can tend to murk up the waters when it comes to pursuing something in a more serious fashion. We have patience, okay? So you guys are single because we're lacking patience, right? This is essentially just telling you that like things are going to unfold when they are meant to. Patience, decent self-control. All right, have patience. We have I dive in and out of relationships. Okay, so spending time alone, group one, is not the worst thing that could ever happen, right? It's far better to be alone than to be in an unhappy relationship. It's far better to be alone than to lose yourself in your relationship. It's far better to be alone than to feel like you are trapped within a relationship. So diving in and out of relationships is obviously not healthy. It's obviously something that we should be avoiding. I think the message I want to give to you guys with this is essentially make sure that you are not getting into relationships or you're not getting serious with somebody just because you want a relationship. Make sure that the people that you are pursuing in a serious fashion are people that you genuinely like and you can see building a future with that person, okay? Genuinely like, genuinely love. You should love them if you're going to be in a relationship with them. We also have, I pulled away because I'm overwhelmed with all the things going on in my life. Okay. So if somebody starts to pull away, group number one, if you guys are dating someone or you're talking to someone and they start pulling away or they start becoming distant, you need to know that like there's absolutely nothing you can do to make that person wake up one day and be like, oh, I don't want to be distant anymore. Or, oh, I don't want to, like, I want to now give you attention, or I want to now do this or that. Like, no, people are pulling away because they want to pull away. If somebody values you, if somebody loves you, if somebody cares about you, they are not going to pull away. They are not going to become distant. Obviously, again, there's nuance to all conversations, but for the vast majority of people, if they value you, they're not going to put themselves in a position to lose you. It just doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense to be like, here's my dream person. Here's the woman that I want to marry. Let me like do everything I possibly can to make her feel insecure and to make her feel like I don't want her. Like, what? That doesn't make any gosh dang sense. So people who love you, people who value you will not put themselves in a position to lose you. Okay, with that, guys, let's see if we can get anything in the bowl. We have vacation. We have September. You guys could be meeting this person in September because, again, the other part of this is like, when is this changing? We have baggy eyes. That makes me feel like we're going to be tired. We have carefree. Strong arms. Ears that stand out. Lust. So this may be something that we have to address, right? Withholding perhaps may be beneficial for us when it comes to finding a serious partner. We have finances. We have yin and yang. This is what I'm talking about with the masculine and the feminine energy, you guys. A need to find balance, a need to strike a balance. So when is this going to be changing? I do believe that for a lot of you, next September may be significant when it comes to getting into a serious relationship. But I feel like for the majority of you, this is going to change. You are going to meet somebody when you change your habits, when you change your patterns, when you start making more friends or you start socializing more, when you start to value yourself. I also think that like taking action towards your love life is going to do this group. Like I think this group especially needs to do this. Just because I don't see changes happening if you're not willing to do anything to change the current pattern that you're in, right? So that is what I have for you guys, group number one. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today. I really appreciate it. I'm sending you guys so much love, and that is all I got. So hello, group number two. Welcome to your guys' reading. Let's go ahead and get started. Also, before we do, if you guys are looking for a personal reading, those in the description box. If they're out of stock, message me and I will set you up with something in the future. We have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, you guys. So like, why the hell are we still single? What does the Six of Wands have to do with why we are still single? The Six of Wands, group number two, is representing success and a victory. So for a lot of you who picked group number two, it could be that you are single because you are focusing on obtaining your success, okay? You are focused on your education, you're focused on creating your dream life, your work goals, things like this, okay? So for those of you who have been hustling or who have been focused on work, focused on your craft, focused on your education, this could be playing a role as to why you are still single, because all of your time, energy, and efforts are placed elsewhere. For others of you, you don't want to date a loser. You don't want to date a scrub, a bum, a rock. You guys are not trying to date a crusty and a dusty. So because you don't feel like you are finding anybody who is victorious or worthy of your time, energy, and effort and love, you're like, I'm good. I'll stay single. So card number one. The next card we have is the Eight of Swords, right? So others of you who pick this pile, you need to get the heck out of the house. You need to start doing things. You need to start going places. You need to start exploring, branching out, make more friends, okay? Some of you are stuck in a routine. So you're leaving the house, but you're stuck in a routine that is not productive for you meeting a lover, for you meeting a man or a woman. Some of you need to switch up your schedule, switch up your routine, do something new. If you're doing the same thing every day, you guys, and you're like, why am I not meeting someone? Because you're doing the same thing every day, baby. That's why. You got to get out your comfort zone. You got to change your schedule up. Or, people don't like hearing this, you need to go online. You need to download an app. If you are not willing to physically get up and go outside and do things differently and change your environment, then you need to go on an app. And if you don't want to do that, then you better start pulling out the witchcraft, guys, because I don't know how else you're going to meet someone unless you quite literally are producing him energetically and you're just like, he's going to show up on my doorstep. So there's that. The next card we have is the Pillar. All right. So the Pillar, group number 2, is the Empress. The Empress is a beautiful feminine energy. She is also very creative. Now, for some reason, I feel called to talk about self-respect. I feel like the Empress is somebody who has a lot of self-respect. And like I was saying with the first card, I feel like this particular group, you guys may still be single because, again, you're not going to put up with somebody who is not going to show up as your equal. You're not going to put up with somebody who's not going to show up as your partner, as somebody who you are proud of. You would rather stay single than to be with somebody who you are ashamed of, which hats off to you guys, group number 2, because a lot of people end up settling and just choose to be with somebody who they cannot stand because they don't want to be alone. And that is sad, because that just means you don't love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, you would not be able to be with somebody who you cannot stand. So honestly, I just think you guys respect yourselves. I think you guys have too much self-respect to be putting up with the bogusness of the dating world. We have the Sovereign of Wands. This is the Queen of Wands. And like I just said, you guys have too much self-respect. This essentially, if you want to see this in a person, this is Megan Fox. This is Megan Fox, okay? Somebody who's beautiful, somebody who is talented, somebody who's charismatic and charming and magnetic. This is somebody who also is so self-aware, right? Somebody who is aware of their flaws, aware how people perceive them. This is somebody who's extremely competent as well, okay? So again, group number 2, okay. Some things, there are some areas of your life where I think that you could do better when it comes to meeting a partner or putting yourself out there. But for the most part, it seems to me that you, group number 2, you just don't want to date somebody who's a loser. And you're like, unfortunately, there's a lot of losers. Unfortunately, there's a lot of unappetizing people in the world. We have the Conqueror of Coins. This is the Knight of Coins. So you want to do things right, group 2. You want to engage in a relationship in a proper manner. You don't want to be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. You don't want to be with somebody just for the sake of being with somebody. If you are going to put forth your energy, your effort, your time, your love, your affections, you essentially, group number 2, are going to make sure that you are showing up in a manner and pursuing romance in a manner that is meaningful, that's significant, that's powerful and pungent. You are not, group number 2, going to just date somebody just for the sake of dating them. You're not going to throw your energy away like that. So the Conqueror of Coins. We also have the Conqueror of Cups. You, group number 2, you guys are romantics. Although I do feel like you're single right now, you're lacking in the romance department. You are true romantics at heart, group number 2, and this is playing a role as to why you are still single. You feel like romance is dead. You feel like everybody who is in your dating pool or in your dating circle, people who are eligible to date, are not romantic enough or are not charming enough or not putting forth the effort, again, that you want to see when it comes to a romantic partner. And again, I'm not here to say that this is wrong, okay? I want to make it super, super clear. I'm stating how you guys have high standards and how you guys have certain expectations for your relationships. And I'm not saying that that should change, but, that is potentially why you guys are single. In conjunction with, I do think a lot of you are stuck in a cycle that needs to be cut. You guys are stuck in some type of day-to-day that is not producing any type of new energy or new people. We have the Eight of Coins. This is, again, doing something over and over and over again. And although when it comes to building a skill set, this is important, But when it comes to dating, when it comes to relationships, you guys, if we are finding ourselves stuck in a pattern, a loop, a cycle, that's toxic, that's dangerous, that's not going to produce us the results that we want until we learn the lesson, okay? So, for some of you, it's going to be difficult, but you're going to have to challenge your perspective when it comes to the people that you're potentially open to dating, okay? And when I say this, you guys, I don't mean this in a manner to be like, you need to date someone you're unattracted to, because I think that's literally the dumbest thing in the entire world, to date somebody who you don't find attractive. I think that's stupid. I literally think that's stupid. Why do I think that's stupid? Because at the end of the day, and you know what, I won't speak for the LGBTQ community because perhaps it's different. But at the end of the day, if you are somebody who is dating a man, a straight man, they are going to be dating you because they're attracted to you. And you should also be dating that person that you are attracted to. You shouldn't be like, they're gross to me, but like, I'm just going to put up with it because like no man's going to do that. So I don't think women should do that. Anyways, 8 coins, cycles need to be broken. I'm just saying, keep an open mind when it comes to dating. And again, don't date someone you're unattracted to. That's dumb. But keep an open mind. Perhaps date somebody who is outside of your usual type. We have the Ruler of Cups as well. The Ruler of Cups is talking about emotional maturity. So for some of you, it could have been that there was a need to emotionally mature over these last few X amount of years or months or whatever. Maybe you have had time now to mature from a past relationship. This is something that could have been extremely important when it comes to meeting somebody new. So emotional maturity is coming in. Could also be for some of you that you're too emotionally mature to date people who are in your age group and you're not attracted to people who are older than you or younger than you, and you want to date somebody who's close to your age. That makes sense that you may be wanting to hold off on dating. We have Venus here, and this is love. Again, group number 2. I really think that you guys are romantics at heart, and you want that true romance. You want that true love. You want that soulmate connection, and you feel like the options that are at your feet are not that. And I understand, and you know what? I want to encourage you guys to wait for that. I want to encourage you guys to wait until you find somebody who does match that. But at the same time, I also want you guys to not be rigid when it comes to superficial or minute things that may not ultimately matter in a long-term relationship, such as like, oh, I'm only going to date a guy with a nice car, or I'm only going to date a man who, or a woman who makes $250,000 a year. Like, that's like, you know, like, you're allowed to want what you want. I support that, but be willing to wait. If you're asking for a unicorn, be willing to wait a long time. If you're not asking for a unicorn, you're like, I just want someone who's nice, who has a job, who's loyal. That's not a unicorn, guys. That's the bare minimum, okay? There's plenty of them out there. There is. You got to weed through some nasty ones, but there are plenty of average, base level, loyal, nice people who exist in the world. So, but again, if you're asking for a unicorn, be prepared to wait. We have Saturn return. This is age. This is age, okay? This is maturity. So going back to the Ruler of Cups, I do believe that maturity is playing a role for a lot of you in regards to why you are still single. Some of you who picked today's pile may be on the younger side. That's not to say that you're immature, but it could be that you are lacking experience, or the experience that you would need, or the maturity level that you would need to have the relationship that you're asking for. It's also very possible that there are other things that are of importance right now in your life, and you are not yet at an age where it matters whether or not you meet the one. Maybe there are other things that need your attention right now that are more important for this moment or this season in your life. For those of you who are older, because I know I do have a pretty big older audience, this is talking about lessons, okay? Saturn return is all about lessons. What have you learned, girly pop? What have you learned? What have you taken with you? What did we learn from our past relationship? Have we applied that lesson to our life, or are we still in the same cycle? Saturn is going to make you go through lesson after lesson after lesson. He's going to be like, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to make you upset. I'm going to take your toys away until you learn, okay? You don't get to have any fun until you learn this lesson. So question for you guys who are over the age of 28, have you learned the lesson or have you not? That could be why you are still single. We have withdrawn. This is single, lonely, and solitary. Single, lonely, and solitary. I think this is just honestly confirming your singleness. I don't think this is too much else other than like, yeah, group number 2 is single. Could also be some of you are withdrawn when it comes to dating though, or when it comes to getting to know people. I know for me, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to like connect to somebody on that level. I am very thankful for my partner because connecting with him was super easy, but every other person that I was trying to connect with previous to meeting my current partner, it was just like, oh my gosh, like I literally cannot stand you. Like, please stop talking to me. Like, literally leave me alone. And it's like people were just trying to be nice and get to know me. And I was like, I literally don't even want to see your name pop up on my phone. Like, stop talking to me. So maybe that's your problem as well. Maybe you're not being as like friendly and we need to be a little less withdrawn with people. But also, if you're wanting love, maybe. But like if you're like me and you're a black cat and you're like, I'm fine with being alone, then maybe not. We have confusion. This is uncertain, unclear, and unsure. Confusion, uncertain, unclear, unsure. All right. So there may also be a lack of clarity for a lot of you in regards to what you want. Here's the thing. I feel like when we are confused or when we don't know what we want in a partner, we think we know what we want, but in reality, we don't. So it could be that like what you guys are aiming towards when it comes to romance or what you guys are aiming towards when it comes to love, there's a bit of like, you know, I think I want one thing, but in actuality, I want another. There's uncertainty. We're feeling uncertain. We're not clear-minded when it comes to our love life. Let's move this down a wee bit. All right. We've also got broken, a little broken mirror. For some reason, this is reminding me of Lady Gaga. This has nothing to do with Lady Gaga, but I don't know. This is shattered, heartbroken, and destroyed. You guys are not broken, group 2. I know some of you think that you are. I know some of you think that that person broke your heart and there's no repair. Guess what? That's literally not true. And I refuse to allow you to think that. I refuse to allow you to be like, that was the love of my life and I just give up on love. If they left you, if you are not with that person was not the love of your life unless they left you and it was not by choice, okay? If they left you and it was not by choice, I will not say that that's not the love of your life. But if somebody is choosing to not be with you, if somebody chose to not be with you, that is not the love of your life. I don't care what your heart is telling you. I don't care what your brain is telling you. I don't care. I understand. I've been there. I've been there, you guys. If somebody is choosing to leave you, that is not the love of your life. That is not the love of your life. You are not broken, group number 2. You are whole. You are not shattered. You are not well, maybe you're heartbroken, but you are not destroyed, okay? You are not. And we have to heal from this. You can heal from heartbreak. Those of you who picked pile 2, there are some of you who picked this pile who are extremely heartbroken, or you're still stuck on your ex and you're telling yourself, no, I'm not stuck on them, I'm over them, and you're not. And I think that you should face those feelings, whether that is through reaching out, trying to work through it so then you can learn that lesson one last time, try to get one last final like breath out with that person. But ultimately, I think that for those of you who picked this pile, I do think that there are people here who feel broken, shattered, or like jaded by love from the past. And again, I don't think that's the case, even if it feels like it. I think it's just a matter of healing, moving forward. And honestly, when you meet, I know this is toxic and people go, you can't get over somebody by dating someone else. I actually don't think that's true. I literally don't. I feel like that is maybe not the healthiest to jump into a relationship right after a breakup or jump into a relationship when you're still madly in love with somebody. But I do think that like getting into a new relationship or meeting someone new who inspires you, who is sweet and kind, like I do think that that is healing. Like I do think being loved on and being in a healthy relationship is healing. So I don't know. We have hammer. This is forge. Again, going back to that 8 of swords, you guys, and the 8 of coins, you guys have to get out of your patterns, all right? You have to forge a new way. We have to hammer, 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 make a new way, all right? We got to figure it out. Group number 2. We need to get a new way. We need to find a new circle of friends. We need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to start going to different grocery stores. We need to explore, expand, forge a new way, all right? We have the flower bouquet, and this is potential. All right, we've got potential. Potential for what? Potential for abundance. Potential for growth. I do think that there's obviously potential for you guys to be getting into a relationship, perhaps sooner for some of you and later for others. But there's potential here, okay? There's potential for something beautiful to blossom. We also have a masquerade ball, a night of passion, embrace a whole new identity. Some of you guys just need to embrace a new version of you. Some of you guys need to reinvent yourselves. And that's not to say that the current you is not good enough. That's not to say that the current you isn't somebody who's worthy of love, but it could be that the current you does not demand respect. It could be that the current you is attracted to people who hurt you. It could be that the current you is stuck in a cycle of, I don't want to go socialize. I don't want to go and meet new people. Like, I just want to stay in my comfort zone. And that is not going to be productive for you meeting somebody new. So, masquerade ball, inventing a new version of yourself may be very important. The masquerade ball is like going out and having fun, right? It's like, woo. We have fear, concerns, worries, risks. Some of you guys are very afraid to fall in love again. Some of you guys are very afraid to put your heart out there. Some of you guys are very afraid just to go on a date again. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be fearful. It's just not okay to allow your fear to like dictate your life. The next card we have, you make me want to be a better person. You make me want to be a better person. So I think that you guys should wait for this, right? For those of you who are waiting and you're like, everyone who's in the dating pool is just not good enough for me, I think that's fair. I think that's valid. And I do think that you should be waiting for somebody who you bring or you inspire them to be a better person and they inspire you to be a better person. We have destiny is taking us down different paths, okay? So make sure, group number 2, that when you are dating people, when you are getting to know people, if somebody says, I'm not looking for a relationship, do not entertain them. If somebody makes it clear to you that they are not going to commit to you, don't entertain them. If somebody makes it clear that they don't want the same things that you want for your future, do not give them an ounce more of your attention. We have to clear this out very, very quickly, okay? For those of you who are wanting a relationship and you want a relationship within the near future, you need to be crystal clear about your intentions and you need to get very clear on the person that you are engaging with, their intentions. And if they're being obscure about their intentions, that's an X, that's a no, that's a if it's not a yes, it's a no. If it's a kind of, maybe, I don't know. No, the answer is no. We only take strong yeses here, okay? Destiny's taking us down different paths. We're not entertaining people who are not in alignment with our path, right? All right. When is group number 2 going to be getting into a relationship? My God. The goblet feels fluffy today. I don't know why. It feels like fluffy and airy and like rambunctious. Okay. There's so much that fell on the floor. Doop. Doop. Okay, do a little spin. I think we're good. All right. I see La La Land here. Hello to everybody in Los Angeles. You may be there. This person may be there. We've got a full face. Witty. Oh, you're not going to focus. We have, what is this? Thick hair. 33 years of age. For those of you who are in your late 20s, mid 20s, maybe even early 30s, 33 could be an important age for when you are meeting this person. We have Tokyo. Hello to anybody who is in Japan or who is traveling to Japan. We've got Europe. Hello. We've got the UK as well. Oh, sorry about the mic. We have medical service. This person may be in the medical/health industry. We have a strong nose. Ooh, we have Africa. We have all the places here. Love that. Hello to everybody in Africa, Tokyo, Europe. We have childcare. We have strong arms, street style, works with animals, a pause. This tells me that there's delays for you guys meeting this person. We have fun hair. Boop. We have fire, passion, Aries, Leo, Saggy. We have E. I will never date another man with the name starting with an E or a J. We have adventurous. Could be, you know, it's interesting to me that adventurous is here, because we have all these different countries. We have the UK, we have Europe, I know Europe is a continent, guys. Ooh, don't come at me. We have Africa. I know Africa's a continent. We have Tokyo. I know that's a city. We have athletic. And we have body of a goddess / god. Interesting. We also have some notes that fell on over here. We have 6 foot plus. Carefree. Professional. We're going to pull a little bit more, guys, because I want to see if I can get a timeline. When is group 2 no longer going to be single? And something right here. Okay, so 30 seems significant, guys. 20, 30, perhaps the age, like turning 30. Your early 30s may be important for when you are going to be getting into a relationship. For those of you who are younger, I would see this more so as like a serious relationship in your 30s. For those of you who are, again, mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, this may be an important time for you guys to be meeting somebody. We have explore. We have a cute nose. We have long, smaller frame, bushy brows, and Prince Charming. All right, guys, so I don't think we're gonna get a date, but 20, 30, your 30s or your early 30s, maybe even like 28 to 33 may be a significant time. For those of you who are younger, for those of you who are older than that, you need to get out there. You're going to meet somebody when you forge your path, when you get out there, when you start exploring, when you start doing things differently. For those of you who are younger, again, it may be a bit of time. Everyone who's in their mid to late 20s to early 30s, this is a sweet spot. Do it now. Put yourself out there now. This is the time to act. So that is what I have for you guys. Group number 2. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to read for you today. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope this was helpful, and that's all I got. So hello to my final group, group number 3. Welcome to your guys' reading. If you are looking for a personal reading, my lovelies, I do have those in the description box. If they're out of stock, you guys, message me on Etsy. I'll let you know when I will have more available, and I can give you an early link so that you can preserve your spot. All right. Interesting. Usually you guys, when I shuffle off camera, I will read the cards before reading them to you, but I did not do that for this reading, and this is a lot. This is a lot, guys. Okay. Okay, maybe a bit of a heavier reading, disclaimer. Maybe not though, because again, I don't know, but maybe not. We have the Ace of Coins, okay? Why the hell is group number 3 still single? The Ace of Coins, golden opportunities. You guys have not had the opportunity yet. You guys have not been presented with a juicy enough peach or a tempting enough apple, okay? The Ace of Coins is talking about a golden opportunity. It's talking about like striking while the iron's hot. Maybe your guys' iron just has not been hot. Like maybe you live in a small town for some of you and you're like, there's just slim pickings out here, okay? That's kind of how I'm seeing this for a lot of you. It's either there's like a lack of opportunity, a lack of options, like the golden opportunity has not been at our doorstep. There has been no like knock knock, here's this gift of a man or this gift of a woman for you. We also have the 7 of Cups. So again, this is telling me like, why the hell is group number 3 single? We got a lack of options, all right? There ain't no options out here. What's going on, guys? Like, why? Why don't we have options? Are you guys picky? I mean, I love a picky man. I love a picky woman. Love it the most. Keep doing your thing. But, like, is that what it is? Or is it, like, there's literally just nobody who's piquing your interest? The 7 of Cups is saying, like, there's a lot of options in front of us. But, like, that doesn't make sense. If you guys do have a lot of options, it's like none of the options look that great. It's a little, like that's an option, but like I don't want it that much. Or it's like we have so many options and there's so many people who are after us and we're just like, which one do I pick? Because that's human nature, right? Like we all want options, but then when we have a lot of options, we're like, holy freaking S, what do we do? Who do we pick? We have strength here as well. This is emotional strength, okay? So here's the thing. If you are a woman, if you are a girly, and you are interested in the boys, the men of the world, it could be that you guys feel like you have to emotionally be strong or emotionally put on like a tougher exterior to not get hurt. The strength card always reminds me of like, first of all, being hurt and having to exhibit strength. This could also though be talking about taming the beast within, taming our wild desires from within. That may be playing a role as to why we are still single. We have the 3 of coins. This is working well with other people. So obviously, now I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, group 3, okay? I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody. But if you guys were working well with other people, I would assume you wouldn't be single. Okay? So for some of you, you don't work well with other people. You're more of an introvert. You're more of a bit of a loner, perhaps. Maybe you're somebody who has an attitude and like you're just grumpy around people, which like I love that. I love grumpy people. So maybe that's like it's almost giving me, if I'm being honest guys, this is almost giving me like a Capricorn who has really good taste and they're just like, all of this is trash. It's giving me, I don't want to say Christian Grey, but that's almost what it reminds me of. I know you watching, obviously you're not Christian Grey, but like, I feel like you are Christian Grey coded. Like you have that vibe of just, nobody's good enough for me and like everyone's just kind of mediocre and like I'm kind of a sourpuss and it could also be though for some of you, it could be the opposite of this, right? It could be that you are quite literally a little people pleaser and maybe you get walked all over in relationships. So then there may be a fear of getting into relationships or there may even be a lack of relationships just because you're so easygoing. Here's the thing. We teach people how to treat us, you guys, okay? So when you are pursuing a romantic relationship, if you allow somebody to talk to you crazy or if you allow somebody to be like, oh, we're going to be in a situationship, we're going to just like keep things casual, and you allow that, you're teaching that person that it's okay for you to treat me like an option. It's okay for you to treat me like a little dessert. Okay, babes, I'm not the dessert. I'm the main course and the dessert and the appetizer. Okay, I'm the whole shebang. So my point in saying this is, if you are somebody who's a people pleaser, if you're somebody who is constantly like, no, I don't want to pressure you into a relationship, or I don't want this, it's okay, I just go with the flow, I'm easygoing. Don't be the cool girl. Nobody wants to be the cool girl. All right, we're done being cool girls. We need to be rude. We need to be demanding. We need to be more assertive with what we want. Okay, realistically, that's what that is saying. Be more assertive with what you want. Because this card can come off as like being a little bit of a people pleaser. We got the 7 of coins. The 7 of coins is talking about putting a lot of hard work and effort in, okay? So sometimes this works, sometimes this doesn't. All right, and I can't speak for the LGBTQ community, the people who are interested in like dating someone of your same gender. I don't know. I understand that the dynamics can shift there, right? Like it could be different. But for any woman who's watching this who's straight, you don't need to work that hard, okay? If you have to work super hard, it's not it. It's not it. The next one, scoot them to the left. It's the next one, okay? Because it's not this one. If you have to go above and beyond to prove your worth to somebody, you know what? Screw that. This goes for everybody. If you have to go above and beyond to prove yourself to somebody, to make somebody want you, to make somebody desire you, that is not your person. If you're a man watching this and you have to buy her flowers every 2 hours, that's too much. She doesn't need flowers every 2 hours, okay? She doesn't need that. Maybe once a week because we like flowers, but you don't need to be out in the fields digging holes, okay guys, to get someone to like you. If you feel like you have to dig holes out in the desert to get someone to like you, they're not your person. I'm sorry. We have the 10 of Wands, okay? This is burdens, responsibilities. A lot of you guys may have a busy schedule or have a lot of burdens on your plate, and that may be playing a role as to why you are still single, why you are still in your single girly era. We have the Ruler of Wands. Okay, I'm going to say this super bluntly. If you've had a personal reading with me, you know I say this very bluntly. The King of Wands is a little bit of a sleuth, okay? He's a little bit of a promiscuous boy. He's a little too wandy, all right? And we're not out here to appreciate that. We don't appreciate that. We don't want somebody who's spreading their wild oats across the lands. That's not what we're interested in. That's not what we are coming to town for, okay? So with the King of Wands, He is very attractive. He is very charming. He is very charismatic. But again, guys, he's the King of Wands for a reason. He's the King of Wands for a reason. Okay, we're getting violent. What I want to say with this card, you guys, is this is not a king who I would necessarily register as overly committal. This is not a king that I would register as someone who's going to be like, yes, I'm going to settle down with you and be happily ever after. Like, I'm not saying that's not possible with the King of Wands, but his energy is not one of I'm going to commit or I'm ready to commit. It's fun, it's passionate, it's steamy, but it's not committal. So maybe we need to avoid the boys with the wands, the boys who are spreading their wand, or the girls who are spreading their wand, you know? Can go both ways. We have the Three of Wands. Okay, so this is expansion. You guys need to expand. Expand your horizon. Group number 3. You want a boyfriend, you want a girlfriend, you want a wife, you want a husband, you want a person to be in your life romantically. What I'm going to need from you guys, group number 3, is to open up your eyes. Open up your eyes and spread your horizons. Open up your options. Figure out what you want, what you don't want. Get open-minded. This is all about growth. This is about expansion. Expanding your horizons. And then we have the Five of Cups. All right, so some of you are disappointed, or like you had disappointment in your past when it comes to love, or you are worried about being disappointed with love. Love is always a risk, guys, okay? And that's why all the little boys on the podcast with their little microphones are like, oh, we gotta have multiple women and blah, 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 blah. Okay, because they're scared. They're scared to get their heart broken. That's fine, you know, that's fine. Some people are okay with dating cowards. That's on the people that date them. You guys cannot be afraid to open yourself up. You guys cannot be afraid to love, because if you are afraid to love, then you're just not going to experience it, right? Love is always a risk. Falling in love is a risk. And that risk could be getting your heart broken. And that's just the nature of being in love, guys, all right? So do not allow the potential for disappointment to stop you from pursuing it, okay? Also, do not allow past actions of other people to stop you from pursuing it. You're allowing that person to have too much control over you and too much control over your future. If you say, my ex-boyfriend John broke my heart, and because of John, because he cheated on me and treated me like trash, I will not love again. You're just going to let John get away with breaking your heart like that? You better go out there and fall in love. You better go out there and start a family, fall in love, the deepest that anyone has ever fallen in love. So then you can be like, John, you were nothing. Who's John? John who? Okay? All right. Let's get into your guys' oracle cards. We have Saturn, Truth. Dad's here. Okay? I was talking about this in the last pile as well. This is growing up, guys. This is challenges happening in your love life. Now, here's the thing. This sucks, right? Having Saturn interfere with your love life sucks. It's not great. But it's also amazing, okay? It's the worst thing and the best thing all at the same time. This creates difficulties. This creates delays in your love life. For a lot of you, you're not going to find your person until you are older. You're not going to find your person until you're at least in your 30s. Not to say that your 30s is older, but like, you guys know. If you're like in your 20s, 30 seems far off. Anyways, point is, Saturn being here, this is telling me that there's going to be delays in your love life. Ultimately, though, you are going to find your person after you have learned all the lessons that you need to learn when it comes to love, after you've learned self-respect, after you've learned self-love, after you have learned to trust and let go and move forward. That is when you are going to find this person. That is when you're going to fall in love again. For a lot of you, this is going to be happening around the time of your Saturn return. If you are under the age of 25, this is going to be happening around the time of your Saturn return. For those of you who are already in your 30s, this could be representing not necessarily a time of when you're going through your Saturn return, but a time in which you have officially learned that lesson, okay? I believe Saturn is Saturn direct right now? Okay, by the time you guys are seeing this, Saturn should already be direct. That may also be playing a role as to when you guys are meeting this person. We have the second house of owning. So for some of you, you could be buying a house around the time you're meeting this person. Could also be that you guys are investing, or you're getting a new job, or you're focusing more on your career. This could be playing a role as to why you are still single, because you're pouring so much energy and so much effort into your job, into your career. We have trapped. This is stuck, tied down, and captive. Okay, so some of you, why the hell are you still single? You're still single because you're still stuck on somebody from your past, or some of you are in a relationship that you hate and you feel single. You're not literally single, but you feel single. And you feel single because you're staying with that person who sucks. So there's that. Trapped. All right. Others of you, like, this really does just come down to like a need to free yourself, a need to open yourself up to love again, to put yourself in new and unexplored territories. Depth. This is awareness, importance, and value. Okay. So some of you may still be single because there is a need to dive deeper when it comes to getting to know yourself. Could also be that there is a need for you guys to hold more value to who it is that you are and what it is that you have to offer, okay? We have distracted, sidetracked, change, and delays. So the fact that Saturn's here and sidetracked is here with delays and setbacks, that makes a lot of sense to me. Ultimately, you guys, I do believe that there's going to be delays in your love life for the people who picked this group. And I don't think there's very much you can do about that other than the experiences that you receive romantically, whether that is a relationship, whether that is like situationships or just dating and like nothing goes anywhere. Understand that there's something to be learned through those experiences. And if you could look at them more so as like little test runs or little practice runs prior to meeting your person, I think that could be really helpful. Okay, so then you can take in as much information or take in as much knowledge as you can. We have distance as well. This is separation, space, and blockage. There's definitely blockages for you guys, group number 3, in regards to your love life. For some of you, you're gonna meet somebody during a move or after a move, okay? The separation in the space makes me feel, especially like this point of view, I feel like I've flown this. Honestly, if I'm being honest, guys, I recently, in the beginning of the year, I was flying back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast like multiple times a year. And I would fly over Montana. It wasn't Montana? Yes, I'd fly over Montana almost every time. And this particular image looks very much like Billings, Montana to me. I don't know why. I could also be completely wrong. It could not be Billings at all. But that's what it's reminding me of. So maybe there's somebody here from Montana, or maybe some of you guys are watching are thinking about moving to Montana. If you're not, it could just be that you're thinking about moving. You're considering moving. You're wanting to move. There's a move in your future that could be playing a role in your love life, obviously. We have oath to the moon, vows of love. Okay. Some of you have already vowed your heart to somebody else. And again, I said this in the last pile. If somebody has willingly and made like the active choice to leave you, that is not your person. That is not love. Somebody who loves you, somebody who wants you, somebody who is meant for you is not actively choosing to leave you, okay? That is not a thing. That is not a thing that humans do. If you are really in love with somebody, you don't have the ability to be like, you know what? I really want to go hang out with Betty Lou down the street, even though the love of my life is right. Like, no. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I also see this vows of love as potential marriage in your future, group number 3. So what that could mean is you are single right now because the next relationship that you're going to get in is going to be the person who is your person. So there may be a need to focus more so on building yourself, growing yourself, getting to know yourself before or prior to you getting into this relationship, because it's going to be such a serious one. We have resisting as well. Face your heart. Don't follow blindly. Face your heart. Don't follow blindly. Okay. Some of you with this card are going to end up dating somebody. I don't think this has happened yet. Maybe for some of you it has, but you're going to end up dating somebody because they are good for you or because they really like you, okay? You're going to be like, oh, well, she's just so into me and she's so nice, so I'm going to be in this relationship. And it's going to make you miserable. Or again, it could be a guy. Be like, oh, he's so sweet and he's really into me and like I don't really like I'm not feeling it, but like I just want to be with somebody, so I'm going to be in this relationship that makes me unhappy. Guys, you're going to end up miserable. Don't do that. You need to listen to your heart. You need to follow your heart. Do not, under any circumstance, group number 3, do not follow blindly. Don't just be like, well, on paper they're a good person, so I'm gonna be like, well, no, you're gonna be miserable. We have energetic movement. All right, the snake. Shedding the old skin, energetic movement. I'm seeing that, you guys, essentially as growth. Again, with Saturn showing up, I'm seeing both of those cards as growth. I'm also seeing it as like a soul, like your soul growing, you obtaining more knowledge. It almost feels like passing a level in a video game. It's like the reason why you guys are single, group number 3, is because like you're not at the part in the video game where you're meant to be with your person. You're not at the part in the video game where you're meant to like reunite with your soulmate. There are things that still need to happen. There are things that still need to take place. We have balance as well. This is a scale. So again, for those of you who are watching this, group number 3, if you are in a situation where like you're pursuing someone or you're texting someone and they're not texting you back, why do you want to be with somebody who's not putting forth the effort that you're like, why? If you're putting in so much effort towards somebody and they're giving you like nothing or barely anything, why do you want that person? Why? Like that should be the most unattractive thing in the entire world, is for you to have a crush on someone or for you to have feelings for someone and them not reciprocate that. That should be repulsive. That should be like, ugh, you're gross. Not into it. Not into it. Automatic turn off. There needs to be balance in a relationship. It needs to be an equal give and take, okay? If it's lopsided, you guys, that's where the power imbalances come from, and that's when things start to get like shaky and messy and like not healthy. I was pretending to be somebody else. So this is something else that some of you guys may be struggling with, where it's like you want to be the best version of yourself, but instead of being the best version of yourself that's authentic, you may put forth a face that is not authentic. It may also be that you guys have a tendency to date people who pretend to be really sweet in the beginning and then turn out to be something that they are not, or something that they did not present in the beginning, right? So whenever I see this in a reading, I always want to say, like, give your relationships time. Allow people to reveal to you who they are. Do not give yourself or put yourself in a vulnerable position prior to allowing the person you are interested in romantically to show you who they are, okay? And that can take a while, so be prepared to be patient. Then we have I'm not ready. Some of you guys are pursuing people who are very obviously not ready for relationships. Some of you are pursuing people who have recently gotten out of really long-term relationships. Some of you are pursuing people who are still living with their exes. Some of you are pursuing people who are quite literally just saying, I'm not ready. And you're still like, well, I'll be around when you are. No, we're not doing that. If somebody just got out of a really long-term relationship, you guys, that person is not ready to be in a relation. Like they're not. They need to like be alone for a second. If somebody's still living with their ex, they need to be, stop. That's messy. And you can't be asking yourself, why am I still single? Why is nothing working? Don't ask yourself that, because that's a silly question at that point. If somebody's not ready, you need to be willing to walk away, okay? And some of you, this is you. Some of you are just not ready yet. Now, I don't think that's all of you, but I do think that's some of you. All right. Let's go ahead and get some notes for you. Can I get a message for group number 3 about when they are meeting their next person? July. When are they meeting their next person? When? We have 2029. So some of you, especially those of you who are younger, you may not be meeting this person till 2029. That's about 6 years from now. Could also be that you are the age 29 when you meet this person. Obviously, I don't think that's for all of you. We have kissable. We have short in height. This could be you. This could be them. Some of you may like short kings or queens. We have strong jaws. Strong jaw. We have April as well. We have July. So April and July may be significant in this upcoming year for when you're meeting this person. We have imperfections. We have red hair. We have fear. This is, again, something that needs to be we need to overcome this. We have handsome, a little handsome boy or girl. We have a strong nose. We have South America. Hello to everybody in South America. I love you guys. Oh, look, we have tall. So for everybody who is moaning and groaning about the short in height, there's also a tall person here too. So we have a government job. We have social. Maybe you guys are meeting on social media or when you were out socializing. We have intense. We have an L. Leonard, Lenny, Leo. Baggy eyes. Rare. Yes, love yourself. Maybe you guys are again at the point in the video game where you need to love yourself. We have risky. Take a risk. We have facial hair. A man with a beard. Automatically, I get freaking, what's his name? Thor Bradley. We have... Why did my brain blank? We have New York. I was like, what is that? Anyways, that is what we have for you guys. Group number 3. Ultimately, the timeline of when you may be meeting somebody. Some of you guys may be 29 when you meet this person, or it may be the year 2029 when you meet this serious relationship. We have April and we also have July. So April through July may be significant in this upcoming year for others of you as well in regards to when you're meeting this person. That is what I have for you guys, group 3. Thank you so much. I love you. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And that's all I got. So, bye.